Okay, let's imagine that you can control time and space and everything around you, even to the point where your thoughts become reality. They become so real that in quantum physics that your thoughts are entangled or quantumly entangled with everything else in the universe. If you believe in the Big Bang, then everything was created at one time, which means everything is therefore quantumly entangled. So that would explain telepathics, psychic people that are more in tune with the quantum mechanic world, that can move objects with their minds just by thinking about it, because thoughts are more and more nowadays, it has been proven to be effective in the real world and the way we perceive reality. Yep. That would mean that everything that was ever taught to us in school that we learned about could be wrong. The whole view of the universe could be different if you just start to understand the peak of the iceberg, that everything is quantumly entangled. Then once you start to believe that anything can happen, then your thoughts become more quantumly entangled, than you can ever imagine. Now, to those of you that are not familiar with quantum entanglement, here's an example. You have a positron and an electron traveling towards each other. They both have equal but opposite charges. When they combine, they not only annihilate each other, but they create two equal photons. They're the same photons, and they are quantumly entangled because they were created at the same moment in time. So that means whatever you do to, let's say, photon A happens to photon B, no matter where it is in relation to the universe.
I'm going to talk a little bit louder now, so if you want to, you can turn your volume down. Okay, back to the Big Bang thing. If everything in the universe was created at the same time, therefore everything is quantumly entangled, even our thoughts. Yes, our thoughts. Our thoughts radiate through space and time faster than light or anything in the universe. You heard the stories, haven't you? Cases where people read each other's minds, or predict a certain event, or move stuff with their minds. All that can be possible once you accept that everything in the universe is quantumly entangled. Now we're getting somewhere, aren't we? So, there were proved experiments that tested human thoughts and the power of it, and its relationship to the world around us. One of those was the rice experiments, and many others. In short, it involved giving 2 jars of rice 2 different impressions, good and bad. The bad jar of rice molded, but the good jar was ready to eat still after about a week. Imagine that, being able to control spoilings with your mind. Just how much more can we push our minds and thoughts? Maybe to the point of time travel or controlling our destiny by picking our thoughts and goals along with positive vibrational feelings. If this is true, then our thoughts could be more than just stored energy in the mind. It could be used to hover or travel in space and time. In a way, our brain, our soul, could be a living, self-aware, biological quantum computer that is connected to infinite amount of copies of you in the past or the future, and even possible outcomes of your future minds. To try to understand this, imagine that time does not exist. Okay? Our being is placed in existence, and our mind does not age. Therefore, by understanding and believing that you can switch bodies with your past or future self, it becomes possible. Simply by believing it is possible. It takes the phrase never say never to a whole nother level. If we are being visited by an advanced civilization, maybe they have conquered every feat, including power of thought, that permitted them to get here just by believing and thinking. Maybe their view of the universe is more universal understanding. Maybe they don't have the same senses as us and are strictly trapped in a constant quantum reality by viewing every possible outcome at once and choosing the best one and being conscious of that choice. That's something that I believe that our unconscious mind does not. We are not aware of it, so we have no control over it and possible outcomes. If we do have control over it, it would be to a certain extent that would be entangled with our emotions and feelings. Maybe by viewing the world quantumly and not with our senses, you could build devices that do not conform with modern understanding of our reality, or in turn, defy our physics. But with a different view of reality, they would have a whole another different form of math or physics, and even mechanical logic, such as physical machines, that when observed it does one thing, but in reality, in reality there's two things occurring at the same time, which means that it's quantum machine in action. To us as humans, only by accepting a certain outcome we make it final and fixed to only one.